Hey guys, today I have another book review, and it is on Eve by Carey. This is the first book in the Eve trilogy. The second book is Once, which is available now for purchase, and the third book is Rise, which is set for release in April of next year, 2013. So, let's get started. Our main character in Eve is obviously Eve. She's 17 years old and lives in a dystopian, futuristic, new America, which is actually the name of their new, the new country. Some random plague, we don't know exactly what the plague is, although it sounds kind of like the plague that was in Contagion. If you guys ever saw that movie, it sounds like it was like some crazy-ass plague like that. Anyway, some crazy plague has killed a huge chunk of the population, probably like 90%. And a lot of little kids were left orphans, which is also a weird thing because it seems like more children survived than adults. But I could be completely wrong on that aspect. Anyway, so all the orphaned girls were sent to schools where they were taught, well, they were just taught. However, the education provided in those schools was slanted in a way so that the girls would be scared of guys. Scared of guys, hating guys, not trusting guys, all that kind of stuff. And after school, these girls were told that they were going to be going to college or a type of trade school. They were going to learn a trade and move on to live in the city of sand. And so Eve, her main character, was really looking forward to it. We meet her on the eve of her graduation. Get it? Eve, on the eve. We meet her on the eve of her graduation, and she's going to graduate, and she's looking forward to going off to college. However, another girl who's in school with her named Arden Eve notices that Arden is being a little fishy and a little shady and a little weird. And Eve follows her. And that's when Arden tells her that no, the college isn't in fact a college, that they are actually going to be used to breed, to propagate, I guess, the population. I hope I used propagate correctly. Anyway, they're going to be used to actually repopulate the country instead of to learn a trade. Obviously, Eve is like, oh, hells no, that can't be true, they're lying to me. So she goes and finds out for herself, and she sees some girl that graduated a few years earlier, and it turns out, yes, in fact, they are not going to be taught at this new school. They're going to be strapped down to their knees, and they're going to be forced to carry multiple pregnancies. And what I mean by multiple pregnancies is multiple babies at the same time. So Eve wants none of that and decides to escape. Once she escapes, she meets up with Arden, who had escaped a few hours before her. And Eve and Arden are not friends in any stretch of the imagination. However, during their journey to Califia, that's how I would pronounce the city. It's sort of a sanctuary city type place where they know that they could be safe. They become friends. Also, along the journey, they meet Caleb, who turns out to be Eve's love interest. Now, don't get me wrong, I love a good love story. I mean, what girl doesn't? However, the way this love story was done, it seemed at first Eve was very like, oh, I don't like you, I don't trust you, you're an evil boy. And then at the next second, she was like, oh, I love you, Caleb, I can't live my life without you. That's what I don't like. I mean, if it was insta-love at like first sight scene, then I would have been like, okay, whatever, it's insta-love, no big deal. But she switches from I hate you, I don't trust you, to I love you, I can't live my life without you. And that just seems like, what? Where did that come from? Where did that romance come from? Also, Arden changes from being very anti-Eve and not liking Eve whatsoever to them actually becoming really good friends, which you do see sort of that transition, because during the journey, Arden ends up getting very ill, and Eve takes care of her, so she realizes, oh, maybe Eve isn't such a jerk after all. Maybe she's not a bad person. So they actually do become friends. The other thing about this book is that it's only about 318 pages long, so it's not a long book at all. However, I feel that in the hands of a different author, or if Carey had maybe taken the time to flesh out a few aspects this could have been a much better book. It seemed like a lot of things were just very skimmed over. We were just seeing the surface of what it could be. I mean, true, this is the first book of a trilogy, so obviously we may learn more things in the 2 books to come. However, I feel that that's not really going to happen. I don't think we're going to learn any more. I think that's just Anna Carey's writing style. It's a very, she doesn't delve into it. She doesn't delve into things the way other authors do, which is fine. It's totally fine. It's just I kind of want a little bit more description. I want a little bit more history on the world. I want a little bit more character development. As for Eve herself, she's not like a hardcore character. She's not a Katniss. She's not a Tris. She's not a Risa. She's more of a damsel in distress type character, which some people may not like. I know a lot of us have gotten used to like that strong female heroine in dystopian books. In this case, Arden is that person. So this is kind of like the sidekick in a way. If you guys read, I would compare her to Susan, I think her name was, in Divergent or Insurgent. She's more of a mild, mellower character. And so I guess it is a nice aspect to see a non-traditional, to me, when you're reading dystopians, it's become traditional to see strong female characters. And obviously Eve is not that. She freezes up. It's like Arden or Caleb have to drag her through things. It's like, come on, let's go. Because she freezes up in these types of situations. But she's not a bad character. I just wish the author would have flushed out everything a little bit more. Because it could have been a little bit longer, which would have been nice. At the beginning of the book, we also have like a little excerpt, or I don't know if it's an excerpt, but it's a little bit from Margaret Atwood's A Handmaid's Tale, which is another dystopian novel, which I think has also been considered a very feminist sort of type of deal. I'm not sure. I read the book when I was in high school, because a friend of my brother's gave it to me, and I read it, and I didn't really quite understand it. Like, I didn't really know what was going on. That was my first dystopian novel before I knew what dystopian was. So, I read that. I do want to reread it. However, I don't have a copy of it anymore. I threw it out. I know I didn't actually throw it out. I put it away. I gave it to like Goodwill or something. But it's not in my collection anymore, unfortunately. But overall, it was a decent book. It was a decent read. I don't hate it. But I give it 3 stars. Woo, 3 stars. I'll link it below on Amazon. I'll also link Once and Rise, so that you guys can go ahead and pick this up if you're interested. Who else have I seen this? I've seen a few reviews on this on YouTube, and that's how this sort of hit my radar. I saw Elle Fowler talk about this, and then I saw Renee, or Nahomis 2, talk about this book. So it was really intriguing, and I liked it. It was a good read. Like I said, 3 stars. But yeah, I think that's it for today's book review. Feel free to leave comments in the comment section below. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Click the subscription bar up here somewhere. I'll leave all the links down below to this book, like I said. And I'll also leave my Goodreads down below so you guys can friend me on Goodreads, because I like having friends on Goodreads. Yeah, so that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!